Hey guys, I'm Karina.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to the Late Podcast. The Law According to Eric. All right, so this is the last episode of this whole year. How do you feel, Eric?
I am really, really excited. We have grown in our listenership every week, like 70, 80, 90. And I know it doesn't sound like a big number, but we've only been doing this I think this is the 7th or 8th episode now.
11th.
Is it really the 11th?
11th.
Okay, well, the first few didn't count. They were more like test runs. So to get close to like 400 listeners now, that's really, really cool. So we're really excited. That's number one. Number two, being the last episode, we made a decision, Karina and I, that we're not going to do like a serious, somber, difficult topic. That we're just going to have some fun with this last one. And we're going to kick it off by not doing corny dad jokes, but we're going to do some pretty dark and appropriate ones. Then, by the way, I just want to say that both of these Karina came up with, but I'm just the one repeating it for her.
I'll take it.
All right. So first, by the way, this is all Karina's jokes. First, why did Helen Keller's dog run away?
Why?
Well, you would too if your name was.
Okay. And for anyone listening, I will laugh at any Helen Keller joke because I'm her biggest hater. So
there you go. Okay, so there's the dining hall of the Titanic. Okay, and there's a waiter serving a table, and at the table you've got a teacher, a lawyer, and a priest. And they smack into the iceberg, and things are starting to go crazy. And so the waiter says, "Quick, quick, to the lifeboats." So the teacher says, "Well, wait, what about the children?" And the lawyer chimes in and says, "Well, fuck the kids." And the priest looks and says, "Do you think we have time?" Thank you. All right, that should give our audience an idea of the tone of this episode.
It is. Okay, so since you started with the Helen Keller one, I'll start with one of those as well.
Okay.
Did you know that Helen Keller had 3 dollhouses and a swing in her backyard?
I did not know that.
It's okay, neither did she.
Oh!
Okay. I thought that one was hilarious.
That was a pretty good one.
Okay, next one. My joke. A man wakes up from a coma, and his wife changes out of her black clothes and irritated remarks, "I really cannot depend on you in anything, can I?"
That's a very typical wife thing to do, I think.
Thought that was hilarious.
Damn.
Thought that was hilarious. Okay.
I'm just understanding that now. Like, she literally was mad that he woke up.
Yeah, she was in her black clothes.
For staying dead. Yeah, I understand now. Okay.
Okay.
And now it's not so funny.
So, like Eric said, this is a lighthearted episode, and we've heard feedback that you guys like the "Am I the Asshole" stories better, where Eric gets to say that. So for these, I pulled the "Am I the Asshole" stories, and I also have the majority vote of what Reddit voted, if they are the asshole or not. So we'll see if we match what Reddit said or if we think differently.
Because that's, by the way, I aspire to that. I want to do what Reddit does. Okay.
All right, first one. Am I the asshole for putting my girls in a room that isn't a legal bedroom? I'm a single mom to 2 girls, 10 and 8, and a boy, 6. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Until recently, I had all of the kids sharing a bedroom. The girls had a bunk bed, and my son had his toddler bed. And most of their stuff was kept in the playroom or hall closet. The playroom is just a second living room. It's like 9 by 20 feet. And it's mostly separated from the rest of the house. It isn't a legal bedroom, quote unquote, because it doesn't have a door or a closet. The kids needed some space, so I moved the girls into the play area. We installed a sliding barn door to fix the no door issue and got them some IKEA furniture to fix the closet issue. They still have their bunk beds, and as they get older, I plan to get them their own beds and split them in the middle, like a room divider. So it feels like they have their own rooms. They love having all the extra space to play, and my son is excited to have his own room. The problem is my brother visited and saw the barn door on the girls' door. He asked about it, and I told him that's the girls' new room. He got upset that I put them there because apparently they'll be safer in a real bedroom with a real door, and that one day they'll realize that I shoved them into the living room instead of giving them a bedroom, and I should be sleeping in the room that they made and give up my bedroom. He's threatening to call CPS about how I have my children sleeping in the living room, and threatening to tell all my family about how I neglect my children. Now I'm wondering if I am the asshole here. Do you think I'm the asshole?
No, I think her brother is the asshole. I'll tell you what. First of all, I don't think it's a real safety issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if the apartment gets engulfed in flames, chances are those kids are dead, whether they're in their little bedroom shared or wherever. So that's okay. I'm just saying. I mean, honestly, number one, okay. Number two, I think the kids are at an age where, yeah, they probably do find this to be kind of exciting, like a little adventure.
Yeah.
They've got their little area. Number three, while the male child is younger now, at some point, as those girls get into their early, their tweens, 12, 13, 14, they're not going to want to have a boy in their room.
Exactly.
They're like 10 and their siblings.
Already.
Yeah. Now, is it a little bit of a redneck thing to like kind of get a barn door and, yeah. And as long as the kids' names aren't like Nelly or whatever, like the horses, I guess it's okay. Like they're not going to feel all fucked up.
And right? They have a living room. This is just like a playroom. She basically made the playroom into a bedroom. I saw no problem.
I don't think she's the asshole for doing that. I think that you can be very creative with stuff like that. And I have, people can feng shui their space all they want. And, it's not for really for me to say. And if the girls like it, win-win, right? And the boy feels like he's, king of the house. He gets his own like private little room. Yeah. Now, should the mom have given up like the master bedroom? I'm guessing it's just her.
Yeah.
Right? No boyfriend. But let me just say, single moms have needs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. So if she actually wants to have somebody show up one night, even just for an hour, right? They need privacy. Yeah. Give her a break. Okay. Moms need loving too. For crying out loud. And who's his fucking brother? I mean, he's going to call CPS. It sounds like the kids are probably happy and, playing and they get along. Oh, fuck. The brother's the asshole. I don't even think this is I can't imagine anybody on Reddit said, yes, she was the asshole.
There were people who did, but the majority vote was not.
I mean, the people that did probably grew up in their own deprived households and they're just, this is like post-traumatic stress or whatever. That's bullshit.
Okay. So we were with the majority.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Good to know I'm conforming with the rest. All right.
Okay.
That was an easy one.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Am I the asshole for taking legal action against the person who hit me with their car 11 years ago?
Yes, because the statute of limitations is 4 years. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I was 17, I got hit by a car. The car sped through a red light and ended up hitting me while I was crossing the street. The accident left me hospitalized for 3 weeks. I received a spinal fracture from the situation and I lost a good chunk of my mobility. I had a baseball scholarship lined up for Kansas State, which I also had ripped away from me. My mother is a single parent who had me in high school and had to drop out because of me. We couldn't even afford my medical bills, so my mother had to sell majority of our possessions just to cover a bit of it. Eventually, we had to turn to bank loans just to pay off the bills. My mother's credit has been in ruin ever since. Well, last week, my friend, we'll call him Jack, from high school invited me to go over to his house to have just a few beers and watch a movie. Jack introduced me to his girlfriend, Ashley, and she was very pleasant to talk to. She had some wacky stories to share and some great life advice about addictive substances since she's a recovering meth addict. Then she told me about the time she ran over a high schooler. Her car fit the exact description of the car that ran me over, and the details of the story fit the exact version of my story. So I asked her what happened to the high schooler she ran over, and she said, I really have no clue. The kid's probably 10 feet in the ground right now. She didn't even have a single bit of remorse on her voice. She even seemed to be fighting back laughter. I got up and left Jack's house. 2 hours later, Jack phones me and asked me why I left his house. I told him, Jack, your girlfriend ran me over. She completely fucked up my life. Jack laughed and said, so? It's been 11 years. Let it go. I yelled at Jack and I told him that I could have been happy right now. I could have been enjoying life, not sitting here broke and depressed. I told him that I'd be finding a lawyer and taking Ashley to court for damages. Now for the past week, I've been getting messages from all my high school friends, Jack, his family, and Ashley, telling me that I'm the asshole for not letting it go. My mother says I should go through with the lawsuit against Ashley, but now I don't know if I want to do it. I would have been much easier to just let it go and continue with my life, but I feel like I should go and sue her for this. Do you think I'm the asshole?
Yes, and you know what? Go ahead. Good luck with that. First of all, if you find a lawyer that will take that case 11 years later, that lawyer should be disbarred. Okay, there's a statute, what's something called a statute of limitations, which means that if you don't take certain action by a certain time period or within a certain time period, then essentially the law says you gave up that right.
Yeah.
There is no extended statute for bodily harm or injuries based from a motor vehicle accident. There have been laws passed that extend statute of limitations for victims of sexual abuse, say by the Catholic Church, things like that, where often those memories are repressed and people don't realize what happened to them until many years later or through the course of therapy. This is not the same thing. And I don't know what happened 11 years ago, but 11 years ago wasn't so far in the past that they don't have cell phones and other technology. Get the fucking insurance information. Should have gotten a lawyer back then, considering all the things you lost.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and I'm not trying to downplay it. It just sounds like at this point, this guy's just fucking bitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he thought he was going to be like the next, I don't know, Derek Jeter or whatever, famous baseball player. That's the only one I know that's famous. I don't really follow sports, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, bottom line is, yes, you're the asshole. I mean, I don't want to say let it go. Clearly he's traumatized.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like the kind of trauma that is, that comes from this type of injury. Mm-hmm. It sounds like this is more like self-pitying kind of trauma. Like, woe is me. My life sucks. Look at all I lost. Poor me. Feel bad for me. She's right. Grow the fuck up. I mean, 11 years, it's over a decade ago.
It is.
Right? If you haven't moved on at this point in your life, then what can I tell you? Mm-hmm. I mean, other than the fact that the name is Ashley, and that's kind of funny to me for other reasons I can't get into. Otherwise, forget it. So, yes, I think he's the asshole. I don't know what Reddit says, but I say Eric says he's the asshole.
Eric's wrong. Reddit said not the asshole.
Well, Reddit's wrong. So, sorry.
Yeah, Reddit said he wasn't Reddit. The asshole, and they felt like he had the right to do it. And
actually, he doesn't even have the right to do it because the statute of limitations expired.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I feel like there has to be a statute of limitations on this.
4 years usually. At least I know in California it's 4 years. So, all right. Well, I guess one and one with Reddit. Okay.
Next one.
But no, fuck Reddit. That's just wrong. I mean, can I just write anything and just try to pull sympathy strings and the Reddit community is gonna line up, behind me?
But Jennifer feels different. Do you think it was the asshole or not the asshole?
Yeah, he is. He's just okay.
Yeah, run over by a car.
Yeah.
He had the first 4 years.
That's what really got me too. She was laughing about it.
Okay. All right. Stop. Everybody stop. First of all, I don't know that that's true. Okay. Second of all, the person sitting right across from me would also laugh her ass off. Yes.
Stop.
Okay. See,
if
just
I
like
ran
now.
him over, no, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I would not.
Yes, you would. You would. Yes, you would. 11 years later, yes, you would. Okay, but even if you wouldn't, and again, I don't know if she was legit laughing like cruelty or he just construed it that way because he was already getting mad or angry. And again, he had ample time and opportunity to deal with this.
Well, maybe he just couldn't find her. Maybe they couldn't.
He doesn't have to. His insurance would have taken care of him also. Or if he had uninsured motorist coverage or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different variables. Maybe he's not giving us the whole story. Maybe he didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
Right? So, it doesn't sound like it if he got stuck with all the hospital bills. Yeah. But then I would have filed bankruptcy and then wiped all that debt out. Mm-hmm. Not like lost their home and all that stuff. So, yeah, you're the asshole. You're the asshole for not knowing what to do, not consulting with a lawyer, not dealing with it the right way, and carrying all this bitterness around. And then you're fucking up your friend's relationship. I don't want to hear anymore.
I didn't think this one would be the one that would trigger you. I have one down the line, and now I don't know how you're going to react to that one. Okay.
Well, all right. Well, let's see.
Okay. Well, next one.
Should I rein it in?
No, it's okay.
All right.
It's okay. Am I the asshole for spending our wedding money on a lawyer for my friend?
Sorry. I hope it's criminal defense. Otherwise, yes. Well, right off the bat. But go ahead.
I, male 33, and my fiance, female 28, have been together for 4 years now. I proposed in July, and we're planning our August of next year wedding. Though no deposits have been made or anything. I have about $100K saved for a wedding, honeymoon, etc. And I'm very fortunate to be in a great financial spot in my life right now with no debt and owning a large condo outright. My best friend just got charged with some serious crimes, like fucking 8 years in jail, and his whole life will be down the shitter. I've known this guy since we were 3, and he's basically my brother. After he got charged with this, he called me up basically sobbing and begging me to help him out with the lawyer. His wife just left him and basically took everything he had, and he was in the middle of rebuilding his life when this shit happened. He has no other family but me, and honestly, I've never seen him in that state before. I promised him that I'd pay for a lawyer, and through some work contacts, I got into contact with one of the best criminal defense attorneys in my city. I paid like $20K up front, but they told me to expect the cost of around $150K if it goes to trial, and etc. I did, however, tell my fiance about this, and she said, absolutely not. You are not going to spend that much money on him. But I had to. I moved around some of my investments to be more liquid, and I'm planning to deplete our wedding fund. To be clear, I am paying for the entire wedding and our honeymoon. None of her money is even involved in this. It's not like this is going to make me broke or anything. It just means she won't get her dream wedding next year. It will have to be smaller, and we can't go all out for our honeymoon. I told her if she waits 2 more years, I can give her what she wants. She's calling me a huge asshole. She's calling me a douche, and that I'm ruining her big day, and etc. She's had all her friends text me and saying that I'm the asshole, including her family, for taking away her one dream. Do you think I'm the asshole here?
No. Sorry. No, but that's a bit harder. Okay. And by the way, let me just say, I don't think he's the asshole, not because he was paying for all of it and it's his investments and they're not touching her money. That's not why. He's not the asshole because clearly he has a brotherhood bond with this friend, and this is a friend in need. I hate to say it, but if it were my very close or best friend, I would probably do the same thing. And it's not like he's saying we can't ever get married, right? Now, maybe they don't want to wait. I understand. And especially they've been together a certain period of time and maybe they already have a bunch of people getting ready or making travel plan. Fine. But it seems like she's placing more value on the grandioseness, let's say, of the wedding as opposed to the purpose of the wedding. And again, yes, he's going to deplete it and help this guy out. And you know what? That is probably, and by the way, there's nothing that says this guy won't ever pay him back. At some point, if the guy's trying to rebuild and went through a nasty divorce and really was left with nothing, and now he's facing 7, 8, 10 years away, that's not an insignificant crime. I mean, there are clearly multiple felonies involved if he's facing that kind of jail time. Whether he's really guilty or not, believe it or not, that's not even the issue. Because even the guiltiest of people constitutionally deserve a defense. They're entitled to one, the best defense they can possibly get. So, and honestly, if I were in that person's shoes and this were my engagement, I would hope that the person I chose to spend my life with would be a bit more understanding when it comes to that kind of thing. Yes, I understand that a wedding is supposed to be a once in a lifetime event. Most of the time, well, at least 50% of the time it's not, the divorce rate and all, but I would say, so I get it. I mean, this is more of a serious thing. I can't really get too angry at either of them. I understand where they're both coming from, but no, I don't think he's the asshole for doing that.
Honestly, I think she's wrong because he, in the comments I had read, he had told her, like, wait 2 more years, I'll give you that same dream wedding. I can save that up again in 2 years. But she's just refusing. She wants her wedding next year and she's not letting go. And he was like, we can get married. She's not going to be that big, but she wants the big wedding of her dreams. So I think she's the asshole here. I don't think it's him.
I think it's very distinct.
Yeah, exactly.
Their values are not.
But we were wrong. Reddit said he was the asshole. I don't think he's the asshole. I don't. I feel like, I would do the same for my friend. I'm not going to let them, not have a good lawyer. And it's just, yeah.
You know what that tells me, by the way? That tells me 99% of the Reddit users are women.
No, because I don't think he's the asshole.
Well, you're the exception because, you'll throw down and fight. Right. But this, I honestly, I don't see it as him being the asshole. Other than maybe just him telling her this is how it is. But it also feels like the way this is written, he tried to reason with her. And finally just had to make a decision. And honestly, and this is probably, if we have any female listeners out of the 365 now or whatever, they might get a little upset at this, but honestly, it just sounds like she had certain expectations. And she's not being flexible. So I think whatever this female fiance needs to grow the fuck up. Okay. Not everybody gets the Cinderella story weddings or whatever. And you know what? Jennifer's right. This may be a blessing in disguise for them. Right. Because if she's that demanding about this, imagine when it's going to come time to buy a house or whatever. Or here's the other, you know what? I solved this problem. It's very easy. Whatever amount they're short, she should pay it. Right? Have her kick in, right? Clearly she has some money. He says we're not using any of her money. I mean, she has some. If this is that important to her, kick in the difference. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Sorry.
I also feel like she might want to trap him with this wedding. She wants to get married really fast. And since I don't know, I just see it as that standpoint. Like many women, they see a man with money as, like he said, he's financially stable. He has all of this money. And she might just want to marry him really fast so that she could also have that money, I feel like.
That's possible she's a gold digger. I mean, I don't know. But although if she were really a gold digger and she wanted the money, if this thing with the friend wasn't an issue, I'd be like, no, let's just have a little small wedding. Keep all your money. Keep it all liquid in there, right? Because mama might need to go shopping or whatever. Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, I see all sides of it to an extent, but I'm like you said, if Reddit disagrees, it's because it's all women on Reddit now. I don't think he's the asshole for trying to help his best friend.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I'm sitting here in front of you. It's probably not.
Do you want us to get closer so your voice is not as far? Because we have Jennifer also giving her opinion. this episode today. So go closer, Jennifer, so we can hear you more.
Come on, girl power.
Yeah, if not, it's gonna like echo cancel it, and you're gonna be too far out. Okay. So next story.
All right.
Would I be the asshole if I made my sister get a lawyer to deal with her own consequences? Side note, Lisa and I never had a good relationship, and I actually despised her from middle school up until I was 23. She was my biggest bully, and the stuff she did to me while I was growing up was very abusive and mentally draining.
Sorry.
Okay, so on to the story. You can laugh. It's
I mean, oh my God. So I already think this guy's a bitch just for like letting his sister kick his ass.
No, it's a girl. It's a girl.
These are two girls.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. My bad. All right, okay. Go ahead. So
my older sister, Lisa, 26, has been driving around town with her car tags expired and license suspended. I asked Lisa if she needed me to go down with her to the DMV to help her resolve any issues when I found all of this out, but she was very dismissive and wouldn't tell me why it was suspended. And she said she didn't need any help. And I said, okay, that's fine, but you need to get that resolved immediately. I told her she could get arrested if she is pulled over, and that's something you need to actually do. Fast forward to a week ago, I get a call from Lisa telling me that she got in a car accident, totaling her car, and was afraid of getting arrested. So she pretended to be me and put the accident in my name, and that she needed me to send her a photo of my ID. When I refused, she started calling me a bitch and saying I'm ruining her life and that she's going to get a felony and it's all my fault because I won't take the fall for her. She proceeds to call me selfish, repeating all of that for 10 minutes. The car accident happened out of town. She drove 3 hours to a city, knowing her driving situation, to visit her friends. I told her I needed to get off the phone because she was screaming at me that I was selfish and ungrateful for ruining her life. Immediately after hanging up, I called my godmom to ask for advice, since our parents are out of town. As I'm on the phone with my godmom, my sister is literally blowing up my phone, calling me a bitch and saying that I shouldn't be telling my godmom any of this. I guess Lisa was at her godmom's house because it's the same city she was visiting.
Okay.
I called Lisa the next day and told her I was not okay with lying to the cops, and I don't appreciate her calling me selfish or gaslighting me when she's asking me for a very serious and illegal favor, and that she needs to figure this out by herself, and that I was not going to be involved in any of that, and it's not my problem. Would I be the asshole if I told her she needs to get her own lawyer to take this accident out of my name?
No.
I don't think she's an asshole either.
Honestly, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. In fact, I would lose all faith in Reddit if anybody said, "Oh yeah, you are." No,
this one was not the asshole.
Yeah, no, not at all. And you know, that license could have been suspended based on DUIs. Mm-hmm. It's usually, well, you can have your license suspended for unpaid tags. I mean, they'll just automatically do that. Mm-hmm. I know in California they do that. But they're right. It's not the point. She knew about it. The sister warned her.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, I mean, the sister that is not Lisa, whatever, like the one that wrote this, it's really not her business, right? Whether that she drives around with expired plates or not. No. But for sure, I wouldn't, like, I love my brother and I are very close. We're like, we don't have a bad relationship at all, but I'm not like risking jail for my brother.
No, I wouldn't either.
Especially for something like this.
Yeah. No.
I mean, come on now. So yeah, no. I think that's an easy one.
Jennifer, thoughts? Not the asshole?
Oh. No,
Not the asshole? Or the asshole?
I forget which one's supposed to be the asshole.
No, okay. Is the unnamed sister the asshole for requiring Lisa to hire her own lawyer and deal with her problems?
Oh yeah, of course not.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're all on the same page.
We're all consensus. By the way, before we go forward, I have for the first time a slightly negative review of Insomnia cookies. We ordered Insomnia yesterday because they had this deal with they called like the nacho cookie. Mm-hmm. So basically they just put all sorts of toppings on top of their already delicious cookies. So immediately I said, Karina, we got to get these. Mm-hmm. And we wanted sprinkles and brownie bites added to our mix of cookies. And we got the snickerdoodle and the peanut butter and the chocolate and all that stuff. And we got an 8-pack, not a 12. Mm-hmm. But we figured, okay. So number one, the brownie bites never made it on.
Yeah.
There was no topping.
No.
Number two, one of the cookies was like broken in half already when we got it. Right. They weren't quite as awesome. No. I am not giving up on Insomnia.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody has a bad day once in a while. But if you're out there listening, because I love your product and I order them all the time, you fucked up yesterday. That's all I'm going to say.
I think they have to just take that nacho. It wasn't.
It was odd.
Yeah, it was odd and it was intriguing.
Yeah,
like when I first saw it, I was intrigued, but it just disappointed.
Yeah, and then the sprinkles kept falling off anyway. Yeah. Like they weren't like baked in it or anything. They literally like took a bunch of dry little sprinkles that fly everywhere and they just like sprinkled it like over the box of cookies and they just fell everywhere anyway. And it was just So I mean, I like the idea of like spicing up their cookies a little bit, you know, but no, that was a fail.
Stick to your cakes.
Yeah, and I didn't even get the fucking brownie bites that were supposed to come with them.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the cookies I already broken, so it looked like somebody like bit it, or even it just I don't know. And yeah, visually it didn't look as good. They weren't hitting on the same.
You can tell because the dasher didn't even walk up here. He left them downstairs.
Yeah, it was just all around. It was just all around a bad delivery. So, just Insomnia, if you're listening, right? Step up. Mm-hmm. So get your shit together. All right, that was it. All right, next one. Okay,
next one. Would I be the asshole? You ready?
Uh-huh.
If I use a divorce lawyer who has a personal grudge against my ex.
No. No. I don't even need to read the rest. Listen. Divorce is war. Okay? If you cannot, I'm not kidding. If you cannot resolve things without going through a formal divorce, meaning there are people that divorce amicably, that go to a divorce mediator, that put it all out. I know someone that went through that, and it was just like that. Sweetheart, here's what we've got. Here's what I'm willing to give you. Here's what I'd like to keep. Here's how much I'll give you every month. Right? Great. When that fails and you actually have to get a lawyer and hire one and start the process, now you have to play to win. Okay. You don't start a war to lose. So I hate to say it, but no. If you got a lawyer that wants to bury your soon to be ex, teach her or him the fucking lesson of a lifetime, go for it.
That is an unethical problem.
No, because look,
do you want to know what her ex did to the lady?
No, not yet. Hold on. I got to.
Oh, you are going to want to hear the story.
I will. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, my initial thoughts.
Okay.
But let me first respond to what was it you just said?
Is it ethical?
I don't think it's I don't think it's unethical, because I've had cases where I represented somebody and I really hated the other client, like the other attorney's client, and that happens, where I know that they're exaggerating something or they're lying. They're playing like they, lost millions and millions of dollars when I know they didn't lose that kind, So no, I don't think nothing unethical about that. And if you can exploit that, or if it makes you a better lawyer, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, I think that like there was this cryptocurrency case where I despised the defendant personally so much for the way he conducted himself and the manner in which he treated things. And he was basically a con man. He ripped off our client and stole his money, that I went out of my way to make his case super difficult for him. I subpoenaed all sorts of things.
That's when Eric found out I could be a personal
investigator.
Right.
And let me tell you, okay, I didn't give a fuck. That I knew that guy was bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to stop him, and it was much more of a motivating factor than any settlement that we ended up getting out of it. So I don't think this is an ethical problem. But now, all right, let's hear.
Sorry.
I jumped to. I know. I acted too. I'm sure there's more to this.
Okay. I'm in the process of hiring a new divorce lawyer. The old one she had to step down because of a personal emergency. Well, my husband's brother is a high-powered lawyer. He's not a divorce lawyer, but very well connected, and is definitely hooking him up with someone that's excellent. Excellent is not in my price range, but I was thumbing around through names and one stood out as familiar. Long story short, it's the woman my husband had a major falling out with in undergrad. Skipping unnecessary specifics, the girl's father was a professor at the university, and my ex did something that nearly lost him his job. She accused my ex of having done this thing. He said that he was in the right to have done it, but he later on confessed to me in a relationship that he was in the wrong and he knew it. But he did not care that he almost lost this man's job. Unsurprisingly, this woman really hated him her whole life. I was first told the story as an explanation for why we rushed out of his class reunion. So when I realized she's working as a divorce lawyer, and a well-rated one at that, I reached out. She made clear in no uncertain terms that she would bury him, and her deal was much more reasonable than anyone else's, even though she'd usually be way out of my price range. So look at lady even brought her prices down. But my ex has really played fair in all of this so far. It's not underhanded of him to hire the best lawyer he can afford. And so far, he's been totally reasonable and transparent in all of our dealings. At first, I thought this was the best idea ever, but the more I think about it, the more I worry that I'd be an asshole to pull a move like this, especially basing it on information he told me in confidence when we were married. Would I be the asshole?
Still, I'm going to say no. Yeah. But his communication to her while they were married, that should cause the other attorney to potentially say, I probably shouldn't take this case.
Yeah.
I don't know that would automatically disqualify them.
Yeah.
And by the way, the client ultimately is the one that directs the attorney. So the client can say, look, take the gloves off only if it's required. If my ex or soon to be ex continues to be transparent and reasonable, okay. Right. So then you have this person as backup, like they can unleash holy hell if they have to, but you can tell them up and until it requires it. You don't have to get super aggressive. I'm so far, so far, so good. So that's something that, is within this person's control as well. So no, I don't think they would be the asshole for doing that. If it does and look, I can tell you from firsthand experience, people start off with the best of intentions and try to be, reasonable. But if that fails and you've got to get into a fight, I'd say, get the best fighter you can get.
Laura said, Reddit said they weren't the asshole as well. Laura said, oh my God, Reddit said to completely go.
Oh my God. So we're 2-2 now with Reddit? Yeah. 2-1 or 2-2?
I think so. First story we said not the asshole. We got it right. Then you said that they were the asshole for the car accident. So that's 1-1. And then money on the lawyer, you said not the asshole. That was one. That was against us.
Oh, it's about the bedroom one.
Yeah. No, the bedroom one we got right.
Oh, so we're 3-1.
No, because you got
3-2. 2-2. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Anyways, next one. Okay.
I don't want to lose to Reddit.
I'll do the count after. All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to speak to someone's lawyer after my number was given without my permission? And wait. Jennifer didn't give her opinion on the last one. Jennifer? Yeah.
Oh, I think it was pretty brilliant of the woman to find that person.
Of course.
Not the asshole. Okay, good.
It sounds like she's a good person and she's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
I know. I used to think I know. I used to think that way too.
But it's always good to have more leverage.
Yeah. So. All right. Okay. Now next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to speak to someone's lawyer after my number was given without my permission and I previously said I didn't want to be involved? This story is kind of ridiculous, so bear with me. A few months ago, my 35 female sister, Penny, the lady's 35. My 35 female sister, Penny, 36 female. They said it kind of weird. Told me about our sister, Jessica's friend, Lisa, and her son. There was an incident at their summer camp that he was attending. He left the building by himself, unnoticed by several staff, and he walked a considerable distance. I thought it was crazy, but I didn't think anything else of it. A few weeks after that, I interviewed for a position at a summer camp. About 30 minutes into the interview, the owner starts rambling and telling me that the job is going to be rough. I was taken aback, but I was glad that she was honest and upfront. She then starts telling me very confidential information about a child that left her center. She even showed me the papers from the state, detailing the investigation, and I was able to see the child's name, mother's name, and employees involved. It's at this point she tells me that she's in danger of losing her license. During all of this, I connect the dots and realize that I'm at the same place that Lisa's son attended. I am really desperate for a job, so I was still going for it because the pay was high. I talked to Jessica the next day and I said, you wouldn't believe what place I interviewed at. Blah, 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 boring sister talk, but I made the mistake of saying the camp owner showed me / talked about the confidential things. An hour later, Jessica calls me on a 3-way with Lisa on the phone and is saying to tell her what you told me about the camp. I was shocked and felt like such an idiot because I know my sister runs her mouth. I felt really put on the spot and pressured, so I told her the same thing. Lisa then said she was going to sue the camp for breach of confidentiality. I texted Jessica and said, please let Lisa know I don't want to be involved and that I regret even saying anything. I said there is more than enough evidence to sue since multiple staff let a child leave a notice and that I don't need to be involved in the confidential stuff. The next day is Saturday and I'm at my aunt's funeral. My aunt is being blown up with emails, texts, and calls from the owner of the camp. I finally decided to call back when we got to the repast. She's interrogating me about who I talked to after the interview because she's getting sued by a parent. And the parent told her that she spoke to someone that was interviewed. I was livid at this point and annoyed at myself for getting into the situation. 2 more days that week, I got calls and voicemails and was interrogated over the phone. I had not even formally accepted the job yet. 2 weeks have passed since my initial interview, and today I got a text from Lisa, who must have gotten my number from my sister Jessica. She's asking me to talk to her counsel / law team and repeated what I said to her. Am I the asshole for wanting to block her number and not respond?
No. Although she was the asshole for spilling the tea and being like running the mouth and like getting being like gossip girl or whatever. Yeah, that was a very immature, unnecessary thing to do. But I don't think she's the asshole for at this point, saying no, don't involve me. I'm not going to help you. I hate to say this, but what would Eric do if that were me and I was that adamant? I'd be like, I just forgot. I don't remember what you told me. Sorry. It was a while ago already.
I also think it was wrong of her sister to go like that's something.
Of course, it was.
Like,
I mean, yeah, very. I mean, it's an odd family.
I think here everyone's the asshole.
Well,
honestly.
yeah, but I mean, definitely, I don't think that. But to that specific question, is the person an asshole for not wanting to talk to the lawyer? No, no, they're not, and they're right that there's probably enough other evidence.
Yeah.
So would the lawsuit have happened anyway? Though, no. This person may very well have put that camp out of business. Yeah. And by the way, if the camp was merely negligent, and I don't want to make light of it because obviously you don't ever want a child wandering off unsupervised at summer camp or sleepover camp or day camp. And if it's out in the woods,
are fast, though.
Well, but I'm saying if it's out in the wilderness or out in the open and there's critters or whatever, I get it. Okay. But this might be their livelihood. This probably wasn't intentional. If the child wasn't injured, which I don't think it was, or he or she didn't say that, why even do that? What are you going to get? I mean, that's ridiculous. This, it sounds to me like this is their family's livelihood. And I would also venture to say that it's actually probably a very ethical place to work because they told them, or the camp director told this interviewee about these issues and even said, like, we may lose our license. Like, they're forewarning them, like, this may not be the most stable job for you.
Yeah.
That's actually a very ethical thing to do. So that person is not the asshole and fuck this person's family.
Okay. Well, that was not the asshole as well. I did the countdown. We're 2 to 4. We got 2 wrong, 4 correct.
Actually, I got none wrong.
You did. Yes.
Reddit got 2 wrong, but
honestly, if we're being honest, me and Jennifer have we're 1 to 1 to 5. You're 2 to 4.
No,
yeah. We're 2 to 5. We're 1 to 5.
Let me just make this clear. I'm 6-0. Okay, and Reddit's wrong so far twice. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Jennifer, your thoughts on this one?
Oh, that one? I think you need to be careful what you say what to.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Okay, next one. This is going to make you laugh.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for refusing to make dinner for my lawyer boyfriend?
Yes. By the way, yes.
Okay. So I, 25, have a boyfriend, 24, and the two of us live together in a very nice flat. I make dinner for my boyfriend every day.
As she should. Go ahead.
He's a lawyer. I knew this was going to make him laugh. He's a lawyer, and I'm doing a PhD, so I guess I have more free time than he does, hence the dinner-making arrangement.
Clearly.
Also, I do like cooking, so it isn't that much of a chore.
Wait, she's a female PhD student?
Yeah, look at her.
Come on.
Yeah,
Apparently she claims it's more than his as a lawyer.
Because is it a woman PhD, like
okay,
women's studies or something? Or, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm just joking. Oh my God, the looks I'm getting.
You're outnumbered here.
I know.
Okay, so earlier this year he got a new job, and at first I was thinking, good on you. The increased income was what allowed us to move into our current flat, and he seemed really happy with the work he was doing. Turns out he was mostly working with clients who were landlords to help them with troublesome tenants. At first, I would joke about him working for the bad guys, but more and more often recently, he had came home. The stories he told me about what he was doing really did start to make him come across as the bad guy. At some point, I thought I better confront him about this and ask him if he really does think what he's doing is right and why he wants to keep doing this. The first time I tried to talk to him about it, he tells me that everything he does is legal and he's protecting people's rights and all of that, and I needed to just drop it for this time. Last week, we were both working at home and I was making dinner. He came into the kitchen and have a chat with me, which is nice of him because I generally like his company. So I'm talking about work.
I should hope so. They're going to get married. But... All right, sorry, go ahead.
But they're talking about like their day and all of that. And he talks about what he's been doing, which is helping landlords abuse their tenants. And I kind of snapped at him. And I tell him what he's doing is immoral and wrong and that he's to find a different job. This pisses him off and he starts calling me silly. And a lot of times he calls me silly girl, silly socialist, silly whatever else. This really pisses me off. And at one point I say, if you call me silly one more time, you can forget about dinner. And this big grin creeps over his face and he says, don't be silly. So I stopped making dinner.
Okay, sorry.
So I stopped making dinner and I leave it all up to him. He isn't amazing at cooking. And over the not particularly great meal, he tells me that I have to make dinner because he has a real job and I'm just a silly student and he pays for a larger portion of the rent. I'm still refusing to make dinner, though I'm doing breakfast because he's hopeless at eggs. We haven't even talked about work since then, and I think he resents the fact that I think his job is scummy, and clearly he thinks I'm in the wrong here. But am I really? I don't know about all of you, but for me, being called silly during an argument is one of the most insulting, condescending things you can say, especially to your girlfriend. And even if you think his job is immoral, I would really still be angry at him for that. Do you think I'm the asshole here?
Yes. Yes. Yes, she is. But
For not making dinner?
No, well, the not making dinner is just the ancillary effect.
Mm-hmm.
What she's really mad about is his using the term silly.
Yeah.
Which to me is silly, right? That she's getting all bent out of shape over that. That's number one. Number two, number two, look. There is a practical approach to practicing law. I also don't always like the types of clients we have, and I often feel like the clients are, not the nicest people. But number one, the practical reality is if I don't represent them, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, even if they practice landlord-tenant law and they do more landlord rights, that's not necessarily abusing tenants or scummy.
Yeah.
Right. Landlords have rights. Tenants usually have more rights, to be honest, especially like in Los Angeles, in California. It's a very tenant friendly state. But, landlords are people too. And that, often, not every time, there are some very, very big conglomerate businesses that own lots of residential real estate that, but oftentimes they have people that just have like a second townhouse or something, and they rely on that income. There's a mortgage they pay against the rental property, and if a tenant doesn't pay them, they can't make their mortgage payment or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's more to it. Now, the question is she an asshole for not making dinner? The answer would be no if she hadn't already started. Okay,
I don't know if that shit where it is.
No, okay. I'm just saying. If she hadn't started making it, she's like, you know what? I'm really angry at you. I'm tired of you saying that to me. Just fucking dinners. You make your own dinner. I'm done. It's different. But the stuff's already on the stove or whatever. So just why? So number one. So why waste food like that? Especially if you can't. No, okay, he did because he had no choice.
It was just terrible.
Okay. What? Well, okay, but what if he just didn't want to waste food? Yeah. What if he cares about hungry people? Right? She's the asshole for leaving it on the stove like that and like letting it burn. That's number one. Okay. Number two. Let me just finish this. And then, by the way, I don't want to hear any more subject about it. I don't want to hear any feedback about it. We're just going to move right on.
We have to. We still have opinions here.
Know.
We have opinions
There is no other opinion on this.
There is.
No, there's not.
Okay. I think he's condescending, and he uses that he's a lawyer, and like it's like, oh, you're not, he's the asshole. Yeah.
He I'll tell you what he is. He has already completed his Juris Doctorate degree. He successfully took him past his state's bar exam. He is earning a living for that couple while she completes her thesis or dissertation, and God knows how long that takes. I know people that are in PhD programs for like a fucking decade.
Yeah.
Okay. And if her reaction is, well, if you keep calling me silly, I'm just not going to make your dinner, then you know what Eric would do? Eric would like get to fucking DoorDash, order for just myself. Right? And watch her.
Question now, though.
Okay.
If your daughter came to you and she was the girl in this, you would tell her she was wrong?
I would tell her that and I don't mean this to be offensive, I would tell her that she should probably get some thicker skin, because if this is an engaged couple and they're married and they're going to spend their lives together, then what I think is harmless name calling should not be grounds for breakups or things like that. She could sit him down. And it sounds like, by the way, his response, "Don't be silly," was meant to be like more of a joke.
I don't think so.
No, I do. It was almost like, he was saying that just to like poke the bear a little bit more, but not to like actually get into a big fight. Almost to like show this is how silly you're being. Come on, don't be silly. Like, throwing that in. But even if he meant it to be vindictive and mean and all that, there are other ways to deal with it than to just like, toss your apron to the side.
So you don't think he was wrong at all?
I don't like being disrespectful towards the people I'm close to. And so, I would say if we're being serious now, I would say he was wrong for speaking to her in that way. It didn't sound like he was yelling. It just sounds like he was being like, maybe not even sarcastic, but just being a little bit mean. Yeah. Right. Maybe he suffers from a bit of self-importance. I know, unfortunately, a lot of young lawyers kind of develop that ego. They finish law school, they pass the bar, they get recruited by some firm. And by the way,
and he finished early. I think that's what it is, because he's only 24.
Yeah, well, he went straight through 18 to, in fact, that is pretty young because he went summers and undergrad, maybe he started a year early. And that's great. But by the way, and this doesn't really have anything to do with her question of, is she an asshole? But landlord-tenant law, that's not like the most sexy area of law to practice. So it's like personal injury. I mean, nothing against personal injury lawyers, but you don't need, you don't have to be a fucking prodigy to do personal injury. And the same thing with landlord-tenant. I mean, there's some nuances that you need to know, but that's every area of law. So
So there's 3 options here. Right. She's the asshole, he's the asshole, or everyone sucks.
No, she is for sure. 100%. She's a hairy asshole. Okay? The fucking dinner's on the stove. That brother's hungry. What? Let him eat.
Lucky he didn't get that cast iron skillet.
No.
Exactly.
He didn't know. That's a disproportionate response.
So, Jen, what do you think?
I am learning so much. It's like, oh my God. Okay. Do you know what's cruel? What's cruel is you put a half-cooked meal in front of a hungry man who worked all day and be like, I'm not going to finish.
Silly in the middle of an argument, I would lose my shit. For me to be like, don't say that, and no, I would lose my shit.
So I divorced someone like that. So I can tell you that.
See?
You should not demean your partner.
Well, and by the way, I don't disagree with that. I do believe that people should treat each other with respect. 100%. I always feel that way. But in this particular situation, it seemed like she was using the dinner thing. It almost seems like the whole thing's kind of like dark humor. His responding to her like, well, then you could forget dinner, or go to your room without supper. It sounds like they're being condescending to each other. Now, the fact that she took to Reddit, that's just pathetic. Okay. I mean,
so final vote.
Toughen up. My final vote. She's the asshole.
Jen?
Oh, I totally disagree.
He's the asshole. So Reddit said everyone sucks here.
All right. Well, you know what?
Everyone's an asshole here.
So I just, just so you all know, Eric's taking that as a win.
Okay. Okay. We'll do this one of your 2 to 5, I guess.
I'm 7-0 so far.
No, you're not.
Reddit's been wrong twice. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So we have next one. Am I the asshole for consulting a lawyer on custody and not telling my baby daddy? I know that legality doesn't equal morality, so I come here for the morality perspective. Don't hold back if I'm the asshole. You got it. I, female 23, started dating Dave, male 31, and it went on for a few months before we realized we just weren't compatible in the long run. 2 months after we ended things, I found out I was pregnant. Because of the world events and uncertainty of future restrictions, I moved in with Dave. He was on board to co-parent and be a part of our twins' lives and wanted to see all of their first with me as well. I had the twins last May, and it's been great, and he's been a good dad. Initially, we agreed that we'd live together for the first year, and then we reevaluate. We don't have a formal court agreement, and a coworker is currently going through a nasty divorce, especially for the custody of their 3 kids. Before this, I hadn't wanted to think about what bad things could happen, but it was constantly on my mind. I decided to meet with a lawyer who specialized in family law / custody cases for a consultation for free and see our situation from a legal standpoint. He gave me a good rundown on everything and said he could represent me if I needed. To clarify, I have no intentions of retaining a lawyer. I just wanted to know my options and understand my situation. Unknown to me, Dave's sister somehow saw me entering the building and went and told him. He lost it on me, told me that he was incredibly hurt and couldn't understand why I couldn't talk to him. He's a lawyer. And I told him that my coworker and I just wanted to see some clarity and reassurance on the situation, but he just wouldn't listen to me. My family is split on the situation. They since said everything was good, that I don't need to see a lawyer, and that I'm an asshole for even wanting to do this. His family is calling me an asshole. Half of my family is calling me an asshole, and he is as well. Do you think I'm the asshole here?
Well, this might surprise you guys, but no, I don't think she is.
Well, they agreed with you. Okay. You got this one.
Well, I first, again, I get them all right, but the reason, but let me tell you, but the reason may surprise everybody. Mm-hmm. The fact that he is a lawyer puts her at a disadvantage. And if things became difficult or contentious, he may likely have more resources behind him. And I don't necessarily mean financially. Friends of his, colleagues, whatever. And that's number one. Number two, while I don't know them personally and I don't know how ethical he is or isn't, you don't know if he's going to give her honest, truthful advice, since this would directly affect him and his ability to parent those twins. And while it's not a very ethical thing to do, he may give her intentionally bad advice. Like, oh no, I make more than you, therefore I'd get custody, that you're not and that may not be true.
Yeah.
And so even in my own dealings in life, I encourage anybody else to seek independent legal advice just to ensure that what I'm telling them or the position I'm taking is not inconsistent or trying to get one over on them. Like I've had people in the past that want to like do business with me, like for something outside of law, like flip a house or whatever. And I, luckily I didn't really get into any of that because, there's often, because most of these are friends and that's a good way to lose a friend, to get in a bit. But there was one deal, this was many years ago, where I was going to go into a small, like a fourplex with a friend of mine, and we were going to do it together. And his position was at the time, best business partner you can have in life is a lawyer because you don't have to worry if, I'm like, no, you need to have this partnership agreement looked at by somebody else. You need independent advice. I can't tell you what I think is right or wrong. All I can do is respond to your comments or your lawyer's comment. And he's a little concerned at first because he's going to have to go out and spend money, but he eventually understood. And actually, it ended up being not such a great deal, so we passed on it, and nothing else really came up. But no, I don't think she's the asshole for doing that. And you need to have your questions answered by somebody who is unbiased and who has your interests at heart. And whether or not she chooses to proceed one way or another at that point is going to be up to her, but at least it's an informed decision. I would say fuck his family and everybody else giving her a hard time. And look, he may very well be a great person. He may be a very good dad. He may be supportive. It's weird to me that it's weird to me they moved in together. Yeah. Right. They're not actually married. So not all of the same things, come into play as far as that kind of goes. Like custody, like right now, she should have full custody as the natural birth mother. He can sue for custody, or something like that. But, again, it's bad luck. I guess she got caught walking in, but you know what? It's not nobody's business. Now, having said all that, if the relationship really was good, right, maybe she could have talked to him and said, hey, Dave, I'm having some concerns or just some thoughts that, my coworker's going through this. But what would have happened realistically? He would have just, told her, don't worry, and reassured her.
We'll be okay. We're not
but
like
you never know what happened. Like tomorrow's a different day,
I don't think
look, all right. What if, let me put it like this. What if he wakes up tomorrow morning and starts swiping left on Tinder? Yeah. Right. Find somebody great. And he's like, look, you need to go. I need, I got somebody coming up. Like, and that, and again, there's nothing illegal about that. They're not married. Right. So yeah, I think that she's not the asshole.
I think the sister's the asshole. I mean, she wasn't involved, but the sister going out of her way and being like, oh my God, I saw her walk into
but you know what? There's a lot of, it seems like there's a lot of gossip stuff that happens in these, but I don't think she's the asshole for doing that.
Jennifer?
I agree. Not the asshole. Gotta take care of yourself.
All right.
Okay. Girl power.
Girl power.
Right. Sisters before misters.
Fight on, Kylie.
That's right. Fight on.
Okay. We have 2 left.
All right.
These are kind of funny.
Good, because almost lunchtime.
Okay. So story 9. Am I the asshole? I have been a practicing attorney for 20 years, and I try to talk people's kids out of going to law school. Yeah, I know you assume we're all assholes anyways. I frequently get asked by people with college-aged kids to talk to them about going to law school. I know that the parents assume I will try to talk their kid into going to law school. However, no one ever phrases it that way or specifically asks me to talk them into going. I typically happily agree to chat with their precious undergraduate, but I never tell the parents what I'm going to say to their kids. Then I chose to tell the kids the truth. Being a lawyer is frequently a shit show, and not at all will the TV or movies make it appear. Law school is difficult and expensive, and many lawyers start practicing in their mid to late 20s with over $200,000 in student loans. The job itself is often both stressful and boring, which is a weird and emotional place to be in. Depending on the nature of the practice, you are probably going to be dealing with the tight deadlines with real consequences constantly. Certain kinds of practice, family law being the low-hanging fruit here, usually generate a lot of stress and negative emotions. There are lawyers out there making over $175K per year right out of school, but those people are usually working over 90 hours per week. It's a grind.
Yes, he's the asshole.
You think so?
Just make it easy because, I mean, maybe not. If he's giving his honest opinion of what a potential law graduate can look forward to in their first several years as an associate at a big firm. Yes, there are these 80, 90-hour weeks. There are minimum number of minimum billing hours that you have to put in. First, second, third year associates are often given the shittiest of assignments. I don't agree that family law is low-hanging fruit. Family law issues can become very complex. And in fact, it's one of the areas in California where you can take a special exam and be considered a specialist, like a legal specialist in that. They don't do that for like personal injury or adoption or shit like that. So that's a complex area. There's a lot that goes on in that. But if he's doing it with the intent to dissuade someone, then I think, he is the asshole for doing that. Because if this is someone's dream, then they have to learn. And especially, by the way, that's not secret knowledge about first year associates and like the hours. So if he's really trying to discourage that, then I think he's kind of being an asshole for doing that.
I don't think he's the asshole. I feel like he's making them realize like a lot of people have like such a different like scene, like, oh, it could be fun to do all of this stuff. And then they'll get into that and they'll be like, okay, like this is a lot more work than I thought. I think he's just being real with them. I don't think he's the asshole by doing that. And like you said, the parents never actually asked him, like, persuade them to go. They just said, talk to them.
Yeah, but that's a lawyer's response, right? You didn't specifically tell me to, speak about the pluses. Like, no, that's bullshit, okay? He knows exactly what the parents are asking of him.
I know.
Right? Yeah. And again, if he's being very honest, if this was based on his own experience, maybe that gives it a little bit more weight. But if he's just throwing out like generalities about life after law school and what they can expect, he's kind of
apparently a bunch of parents came together and were mad at that.
Well, yeah, I think he's kind of an asshole for doing that. That's number one. By the way, number two, not every law graduate gets recruited to that kind of firm.
Yeah.
There are some that go into public service. They become district attorneys or public defenders, or they work for like various counties and like their workers' compensation areas or labor divisions. There's some that just go into private practice because they don't want that grind. Right. And they're more than happy to make $120,000 a year on their own, whatever. And the more I think about them, he's an asshole.
Jen?
I have mixed feelings. I think you have to be honest with kids.
Yeah.
It's not all, fun and roses and sunshine. But he should probably tell the parents that he's not going to give, a completely like pro law school.
Yeah.
Deal.
Okay. Well, Reddit said he wasn't the asshole. So, okay, last one. Are you ready for this?
All right.
Am I the asshole for calling my lawyer on his wedding day? Let's call him Sam. I run a prop trading shop, think buying and selling stocks. Sam's not our in-house counsel, but we called him in recently because we're undergoing a merger and he's a merger and acquisitions expert. Today was his wedding. Beforehand, I told him I'm still keeping him on call because something important might happen. That it's unlikely and 99% of it, I won't be needing to call him. And like I said, it was 99% likely the day would go down with nothing important happening. But unfortunately, that 1% chance came through and we had an emergency. I won't get too much into the actual legal aspects of it, except just to say that it was a really big emergency. So I called Sam. He was understandably pissed off at first, and I still expected him to make some calls and talk to the other company that we're merging with. But at first he refused. I told him I understood he was pissed off, but it's literally his job. He still refused, and I told him I'd let him go if he didn't get on the fucking phone with the other company right now. He was really angry, but he did it and fixed the emergency. Later, I called him and told him I was sorry for interrupting his wedding, but he did a great job. And when he picked up, he just called me a huge asshole. He's threatening with leaving me and not being my attorney anymore. So am I? I mean, I don't think I am since I told him there would be a chance.
100% he is.
I think he's an asshole, yeah.
100%. It goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
he says too, like, I'm paying him to do this.
Yeah, but that's not... You're not paying your lawyer to give up their wedding day. Because you have a perceived emergency. And by the way, I don't even know how big of an emergency it is. They couldn't wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
And to say, you need to get on the fucking phone.
Right, no, bullshit. And threatening to, like, fire him, Yeah. So not only is he the asshole, but if Eric were Sam, like what would Eric do? Eric would have like tanked his whole deal.
Yep.
Like fuck you. Mm-hmm. No, I mean I wouldn't actually literally tank his deal because I could lose my license or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I would quit.
Me too.
I'd be like quit. You're gonna fire me for not getting on the phone. Let me save you the trouble. Fuck off. Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be a mergers and acquisitions expert, and you're still going to need me or a guy like me. Fuck off.
Yeah.
right?
I think, yeah, that's ridiculous. I couldn't even imagine that.
And by the way, let me just say, the fact that you put up a disclaimer in the beginning, like, look, I may still need you, that doesn't mean shit. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's my wedding.
Right. And by the way, you can replace that with any number of important life event days, and the answer will be the same.
Yeah.
It's my wedding day. It's my kid's bar mitzvah day. My daughter's quinceañera. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. Whatever. Okay. Lawyers are people too.
Yep.
We have personal lives. Yep. This was a happy day for him. I don't care how important this guy thought his problem was.
I wouldn't even answered him.
No, and if they were going on their honeymoon the next day and the guy was going to be on vacation for a week, I bet you he would have taken 20 minutes while on the honeymoon, right? And like, hey, babe, right after breakfast, I just want to make a quick call. And that could have been it, but not on the actual wedding day. Now, having said all that, I also think it does depend a little bit on the time. Like, I hate, not to be an asshole, but if the wedding, like, given that this is our subject, but if the wedding were like at 3:00 and the guy called him at like 7 a.m., it's like, look, I really need your help here. And if he took it a different way, maybe I'd be like, okay, that's a bit more reasonable. Like, I'm getting married today. Yeah, but not for another 9 hours. So can you just help me out? But it feels like the way he approached it.
He's very entitled.
Yeah, that's, I think, more the problem.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I mean, I know this was kind of funny, and the lawyer's not the asshole.
No. Okay,
but let me just say, I've had clients that get that sort of sense of entitlement. Like, I need to drop everything when they call, and they just don't have like the slightest amount of like respect for private space or personal time. I've had clients call me like at 9:30 at night to give me, pitch me like a stupid idea, like out of nowhere, just because they thought like they needed to like get it off their chest, and they wanted, for some reason, they felt they needed my legal advice at 9:30 at night that night, of a fucking concept that hadn't even started yet.
I know.
But that happens, right? With these like there are people like that, and it's really a personality type, So lawyer is 100% right for telling him to go fuck off. I would, sorry, 100% wrong for getting on the phone, for not telling him to go fuck off. And the other guy is definitely the asshole. The lawyer's not the asshole. That's what I think.
All right. I think that the guy's the asshole as well. Lawyer's not the asshole. Jen?
Yeah, I agree. The lawyer definitely is not the asshole. And it's pretty amazing he even picked up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up. Fuck that shit.
Well, I would have picked up to tell him, don't fucking call me again. Like, I don't want you to like blow up my phone, right? Yeah. Honestly, though, the other thing too, and this whole thing could have been avoided. If it were me, like, what would Eric do? I would just turn my phone off.
Yeah.
It's my wedding day. Yeah. And then I'll turn it back on when it's over, and I'll look at my missed calls. But now, I know that maybe because he's a specialist in this and he's like the only guy that has a certain amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
But like doctors, right? They're in medical emergencies all the time. But you know what they do? They have somebody else on call. So if they have a thing, they're going on vacation, they have a special event, there's somebody to cover.
Yeah.
Lawyers do that too. Like if I go on vacation, I have a few attorneys that I know that I can say, look, I need you to make this appearance for me, or if this happens, can you step in for a minute?
Yeah.
It's not quite the same if there's something that requires my immediate attention, but generally speaking, there's ways to kind of cover that kind of stuff. But yeah, that lawyer's not wrong. That his person that hired him is an asshole.
Well, you ended up at 2-8 because you got 2
10-0.
You got 2-8.
Fuck
Me
Reddit.
and Jennifer got 1-9.
You think that? I mean, look, I don't want to discourage you guys from trying to prop yourselves up and all. That's fine. I mean,
he lost.
It's kind of adorable that you guys think you're
And my joke was funnier.
Right? No, it wasn't.
My joke was funnier.
Your Helen Keller joke was okay, right? But my Titanic joke was way better.
You just didn't like it because the wife was happy he had died.
I'm still like, I can't go to the fact that like that bitch didn't finish dinner.
Oh my god! And she shouldn't have.
You want to hear? Okay, I'm gonna let me. This will take us a few more, but I'm gonna tell you guys a true story. I went to law school with somebody. I can't give you his full name. Not that I think he listens, but people might know him. But he was legit from Nigeria. Okay, he had the heavy accent and the whole bit. Okay, his wife was from the Philippines. So in our first year of law school, we used to have this thing called Saturday seminars.
Right.
Or basically, if you wanted to get some extra help, or one of the professors would come Saturday morning from like 9 to noon, answer questions, review whatever we did. It was only available to first year students. It was just meant to kind of get you that first year. So there's one particular Saturday I was there. I used to go to all of them. And my classmate, who I'll just call M, it was usually he's right on time. wasn't there. Okay. So M rolls in like 45 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's 9:45 and he sits down and he's got this like angry look and this scowl. Okay. So we get these breaks after like the first 90 minutes or whatever. We get like a 10-minute, 15-minute break. So at the break, I say, M, what's wrong? You look so mad. So he proceeds to tell me in the heaviest fucking accent he has. His mom came to visit them from Nigeria. Mm-hmm. And he was upset because his wife forgot to make him his goddamn breakfast.
Oh my God.
And he said it like that, and it embarrassed him in front of his mother that his wife didn't get up and make his goddamn breakfast. Mm-hmm. She knows, Eric, that I'm supposed to have my breakfast. And I had to make cold cereal, and that's why I'm late.
It took him 45 minutes to make cold cereal.
I'm just saying, apparently, I can't do the accent that well, and this is going to offend one of our listeners. But apparently, he was waiting for the breakfast, and she just didn't wait. She slept in. Oh my God! And he was just like there, like in his little room, like whatever, just like waiting, like for her to wake up and start fixing it. And then I guess his mom woke up and saw that he was without breakfast, and then he was going to be late. And then she must have said something to him, like, "What kind of lazy hoe did you marry?" or whatever. Oh my God! And he was like all disgruntled about it. So. Hey, that meals are a big deal for men. Okay, all right. And it sounded like he was the one paying for it sounded like he was the one paying for all the food anyway. Right? He had the better job. She's a student. A silly student.
Back to the story.
Hey, if that's what we're talking about.
We don't know if she doesn't work. We just know that she's also getting a PhD.
I know. I'm sure she's working 80 hours a week and getting a PhD and finding time to make dinner. I know. I'm superwoman. Right?
She is.
Yeah, I know. That's
Superwoman for dealing with him.
Girl power. That's right.
For dealing with him?
Well, I'll tell you, she flexed for sure by like just turning off the stove and be like, fuck it. You want to eat, you make it. Yeah. Look, I'm serious. Like what I would do, honestly, I would go like wherever my favorite spot is by myself, eat whatever I wanted. Maybe even bring some leftovers home for myself the next day.
Oh, I thought you would have ordered just for you to come to the house.
Or that if I was already like in my PJs or whatever, like or I was done for the night. I'd order in
just for you.
I'm not skipping dinner because she got her panties in a bunch. Over the word silly of all things. That's silly.
Not silly. She had a point.
All right, this is.
She makes dinner to someone.
Exactly.
Well, he wasn't condescending when she started making it. So why wouldn't you just fucking finish dinner? Eat and then explain to him.
And this is why he should have shut the fuck up and sat down.
No. This is why
you don't get a woman mad while she's cooking.
No, she should have. Exactly. She should have wiped the sweat off of her brow.
Nope.
Over that stove, finished making her man's dinner. The guy that helped afford them their nice flat. Mm-hmm. The guy that makes a better salary now. Mm-hmm. Okay, the guy that does a thankless job according to her. Okay, and puts them in a lifestyle to which she's clearly becoming accustomed to. Okay, how hard is it just to fucking finish making dinner?
It was making me realize that a lot of people who are book smart don't have emotional intelligence.
You see? You can't offend me. I'm going to be a lawyer soon. That was funny though.
I happen to have all sorts of smarts. That's not the point. I'm just saying I would be upset.
Go get your boxer briefs in the butt.
No, I don't.
Don't be silly.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, it is silly. That would upset me. It would upset me because
Sassy man world.
It just feels to me like she overreacted to the term silly. It would be different if he referred to her as like a dumb woman or, like, why do we...
He throws it in there, a silly student, a silly socialist, a silly girl, all of that. He always calls her silly.
Because
he's
she's
younger than her. I'd be like, okay, little boy, sit down.
Because she's shitting on his work. Because for whatever reason,
he hates it too.
He takes pride in his work. That's what's paying their bills.
He says he hates it too.
Fine, hate it all you want. It's still paying the rent. We all take cases we don't like because we have bills to pay. We have overhead. We have payroll. Mm-hmm. You know? So, make the fucking guy his dinner. Jeez, I can't get over it. I mean, you gonna leave him hungry like that?
Yep.
No bullshit.
Yep.
Then you know what I would do? I would leave her hungry.
She could go.
No. I'll let you think about that for a minute. I would cut her off. You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And I bet you after 3 or 4 days, that fucking hot meal is ready.
Sure.
I say it's not very hard to find another one of those.
They're engaged. See? They're in a committed relationship.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. She needs to know her role.
No.
All right.
Break up.
So let me.
All right.
So before couple like just some parting words. Number one, I don't want to get anybody offended. This is more shtick than anything else.
Yeah, shits and giggles, guys. Shits and giggles.
That's right. I'm not really misogynistic like that. That's number one. Number two, and I'm surrounded by two very tough women right now. So, all right. Number two, I hate to say it, but fuck Insomnia cookies this week.
Yeah.
They blew our order, and I'm not going to order more. Not till the new year now. So that's what they get.
Next week.
That's well, okay, but whatever. How much longer you want me to wait? And then again, keep up thank you everybody for sending links and sharing. Our growing 40, 50 listeners every week is really, really amazing. At least for us. This is really just a passion project.
Yeah.
We just want to have some fun, let off some steam, for our weekly grind. So really, really appreciate it. And we will try our best to get this episode out right away.
Yeah.
So that
put it out New Year's. I'll put it out New Year's.
I was gonna say we should just spend the rest of the day editing and
I could do that too.
Let's publish it tonight.
Okay.
And then we've got a break, and then we'll see you guys on January 4th or 3rd, 4th, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Happy, healthy New Year to all, especially my 3 listeners in Thailand.
And the UK.
And
you have UK. You have like 2 in the UK.
It's interesting that we have listeners in the UK, but I understand because the British sense of humor is not that great. So I might just be giving them, what they don't get at home. Yeah. Like, all right, sorry, we just lost the 2.
We just lost them.
We lost 2 listeners.
We just lost them.
All right, all right.
Last time it was about their queen that died, and now you want to say they have no sense of humor.
Fair enough. You know what? I think it's we'll end it now before we make this any worse. I
want to say thank you all too. I never thought I'd be on a podcast, so here we are. Let's start the new year off right. And you can find us at our social medias at Instagram at The Bentomic Confirm, Twitter and TikTok at Bentomic Confirm. Our website is eblawfirm.us, and you can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. And remember to follow our show, subscribe to it, and leave comments down below and rate us as well. Can you believe we made it to an hour and 11 minutes?
That's awesome. That's our longest one yet.
It is. All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Jennifer, bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.